surprise you with a Facebook Live. I'm used to doing this in my group, not here on my profile, but I do it all the time. I haven't gone live for a number of days, but in my group. But I thought I would share with you something that appeared on my doorstep. Hello, I see somebody, a couple people. This appeared on my doorstep just the I guess it was yesterday, day before, I'm not sure. We have Jehovah Witnesses here in Georgia and Augusta. Oh, I almost said Atlanta. Oh my God. In Augusta, Georgia, and they love to leave these little things. I always try and save them. I never show up. They're inviting me to an event, a free event. If you can see, it's over on Peach Orchard Road, which is right near to me, on April 11th. I guess it says this year, according to the Bible's lunar calendar, the anniversary of Jesus' death falls on Tuesday, April 11th. Jehovah Witnesses invite you to meet with them on that date to listen to an explanation of how his death can benefit you and your family. It's interesting, they didn't capitalize his. I would have thought they would have done that. Not that I think that they should. I think it's cool that they don't. Yeah, maybe I'll go check it out. I never check out the Jehovah Witnesses. I was once a Jehovah Witness myself, like Prince was. Prince was a Jehovah Witness. I was a Jehovah Witness when I was married to my ex-husband, who I won't name right now. My ex-husband reminds me a lot of Prince, and I do believe that Prince was one of the people that were his doubles. I was married to a few people when I was married to my ex-husband. I know that sounds pretty kooky, but Prince was one of them. He really is my husband, okay? And yes, there was a time, I think I was 20 years old, and the Jehovah Witnesses, how did I encounter them? I was in the, we were I think we were in North Bergen, New Jersey, staying with the Ramirez's. Richie Ramirez is one of my Facebook friends. It was around that time. No, I don't remember. I'd have to think about it and get back to you. But I was about 20 years old, I remember. And I stopped wearing makeup. I don't wear makeup now, but I stopped wearing makeup. That's one of the things that Jehovah's Witnesses are supposed to do. Women, they're supposed to stop wearing makeup. And I started wearing long skirts and stuff. And I was really into a new world coming. And that's what, I guess that's what they teach. And I knew that that was what my life was all about. And it was around that time that my ex-husband became very frightened for me. And he took me to the library and did, forced us to do research. And so that he could scare me out of this new life, because I guess he was worried that I was going to go away and leave him or something like that. And that's how I discovered Thomas Paine, his book, The Age of Reason, and that changed my way of thinking. And after that, I never really was a Christian again. But when I was 20, I was a Jehovah's Witness, and I was very devout. Every religion that I got into, I was very devout in. And so I was waiting for a new world, and it was back, we're talking like, I guess we're talking like late 80s, and when I was 20. And it was a very, we thought the world was ending at any time back then. And I'm sure when the year 2000 happened, the Jehovah's Witnesses were so sure that the world was ending then. And, they keep waiting for the world to end. Well, let me tell you, here I am in 2017. I'm 51 years old. The world is about to end. I mean, not in the way we think. Um, we, you see the photos on here of people like in everybody getting along. And I guess, what do they say? It says, centuries ago, a divinely inspired prophet foretold the time when man would be at peace with nature, illness would be eliminated, families would build their own houses, plant their own fields, and enjoy the fruits of their labors. That's from Isaiah, a number of places in Isaiah. Jesus performed powerful works that showed on a small scale how such prophecies will become a global reality. His death was fundamental to the future elimination of every cause for sorrow. So important was Jesus' death to the fulfillment of God's purposes that Jesus commanded his disciples to commemorate it. And I read you the last paragraph about how Jesus' death falls on April 11. And they want to commemorate it right here near my house. And it's at a funeral home. They're commemorating it, Ed. It's funny. So yes, it's, the photos. It's, I know that Jehovah's Witnesses have this fantasy about a different world altogether than the one we're in. But how about our world? Kind of the way it is, but with everybody cooperating. Us going back to natural foods and, yes, growing our own stuff, yes, but, let's look at the world we have, and, we're not going to go back down to, primitive times when we didn't have any machinery or any technology. Let's keep the technology, let's keep our cars, but let's make them more, let's make them green, like environmental friendly, with new technologies that we have yet to implement. Just a whole new world where our focus is on helping each other, helping the environment, making this a better world. That's the kind of new world that's coming. And yeah, the way it's going with Donald Trump, it's going the opposite way. And unfortunately, he's going to do us in. And all of us who are sincere in our heart, are going to be fine. But it's just the people who have the worst in mind who are going to go down. They're not going to be in this world. When this world ends, and it is going to end, because Donald Trump is going to, what is it? What do they do with the nuclear codes? I mean, they turn a key, they push a button. I don't know what they do. He's going to do that, unfortunately. He's working on it. You can see it. And I always said, Donald Trump is World War III. And it's not the first time, Bush did the same thing, and it's going to happen again with Trump. And, they really think that, and they have, the CIA has an underground, they have underground towns and cities, and they think that they're going to be fine underground, and all of us will perish on the surface, and they'll be fine. They don't need to be on the surface. They don't need to come up. They have enough, resources down below, underground, I guess is what they call it, that they don't need to be above ground. And they can just blow us all up, and they're going to live fine, and they can have all their CIA sex slaves. I'm not the only CIA sex slave in existence. I mean, yes, besides the ones that have died, there are people, I'm an ex-CIA sex slave, by the way, but let's be clear on that. But there are many, many, many people who babies that are born underground, in these underground cities, tunnels, towns, who are born to be raped again and again and again, and they use my babies, my genetic babies, because my DNA is very durable. You know, my babies are very, very resilient and durable, and they can abuse them and abuse them and abuse them, and they're fine. I mean, no, they're not fine, but you know, they survive. And these poor children are raised in little rooms, and people come in and they rape them and again. They grow up, they keep being raped. They're not educated, they're just there for rape. I guess they're given enough food to survive. I don't think they even wear clothes, some of them, and it's very sad. And this is the world that the CIA wants. They want control over everyone, and you know, us on the surface, you know, this is you know, they can't control us here on the surface, so they just assume get rid of us so that, you know, there's less people to take up resources. It's a very sad situation. So this is why Donald Trump is going to turn the key, push the button, put in the code, and do the World War III thing and blow us all up. But all of us that are good people, that have a sincere heart, we're going to be okay. And this is what Prince wants me to tell you, okay? You know, I recently donated blood, and I realized that Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe in blood transfusions. And that's because I had to. This is the Bible I found. There's a couple of Bibles, a number of Bibles in this house, but this is the one I found. I found a King James one, but I don't really like King James very much. My favorite, I think, is the New International Edition. It's been a while since I've looked at my Bibles, so I don't really know. But this is the one I found, and I looked up all of the different places where they talk about how you're not supposed to eat blood, or, you know, partake of blood or whatever. And the basic reason they say for not they don't accept blood transfusions is because blood is life. It's lifeblood. And yes, I recently donated blood, and that's my lifeblood that I donated. And for so many years, I mean, since I went to Columbia, I was a student at Columbia University in the late 80s, and that was the last time I ever donated blood. It was probably around 1988. I would say about 1988, maybe 1987, somewhere in there. And I was, how old was I? I was, oh, okay, I was 20 in 85, so that's 23, yeah, at the end of 88, I was 23. I was 22. I was 22 years old, I would say, the last time I donated blood. And then after that, the reason I didn't donate blood was because I eventually was on medication for many, many years. So I don't think they accept your blood if you're on medication. So that's why there was so many years that I hadn't donated blood. And that was a problem for, you know, all the vampires out there. You know, there are vampires, okay, and they really want my blood. Why do they want my blood? Because my blood is my lifeblood, and I have special DNA, which my identical twin sister, my clone, and I have some body clones too. They all have, or I think they all have my DNA as well. I mean, identical DNA, I should say. But my particular lifeblood is different than theirs because I'm a different life entity. And and my blood is very valuable, and I'm sure it's already been auctioned off in little vials and distributed, even though the blood bank tells me it's going to the hospital. And it's important that I get this blood flowing so that I'm allowed the opportunity that I need to create this new world. Because a lot of those vampires are in control, are the ones that are going to be the ones that allow me to do what I need to do. Hi there. I see some people are commenting. Hi, Yakini. I'm fine. How are you doing, Yakini? And Mandy. Hi, Mandy. Hi. Omer. I don't know what you said, but Nasilisin. That's what he said. I don't know what that means. So anyway, a new world is on the way, and I don't know when, how, what, anything like that. I just know there's a new world that's on the way, and because there's no other way, is there? There's no peace in this kind of world, is there? We're just going down, and underground. That's where we're going, and all us on the surface, we're history, I guess. And it's very sad. So Prince really wanted me to discuss this, and I wasn't planning on talking about the underground world that the CIA has, and I really wasn't, but he really wanted me to talk about this, and for everyone to prepare, and there is no, I just want the Jehovah's Witnesses to know that when God was talking about drinking blood or, eating blood, whatever you want to call it, he was, I should say she was talking about the blood from animals. Okay, I won't go through all of them, but I went through all of the quotes that the Jehovah's Witnesses give as to why they don't accept blood transfusions. And each and every quote that they point out in the Bible talks about meat, talks about animal flesh. It doesn't talk about a living human being who donates blood. It doesn't. It talks about the lifeblood of an animal. Yeah, okay. That is their lifeblood. Okay, we're not animals. So we don't want to drink the blood or to get a blood transfusion from an animal. Okay, Tracy Goodman says, Tracy, by the way, doesn't really like me very much. She's been bugging me for a lot of years. She says, the Lord is not a she. Why do you believe that? I don't know. I'm here on my profile, and I'm a little more comfortable being in my private group talking about all of this. But okay, I'll tell you why. Because, and this is why Prince wants me to speak out, okay? I'm a writer, right? Well, when I was a child, I was a writer also. And I was put in front of a computer in Vega, and I was told to interact with, I thought it was a computer game. I did. And I interacted with ancient civilizations of people that are in the Bible. And I got rather, what is the word? Obsessive, compulsive, what is that? OCD, is that what you call it? I was a little, I was telling them they had to do this, they had to do that, and this is the way you do it. If you don't do this, I'll kill you. And I killed whole populations of people. I thought it was a computer game. Okay, I did not know I was dealing with actual people. And so I'm here to tell you that the God of the Old Testament was an 8-year-old me. I know that sounds really crazy for everybody. You've never heard anything like this, but I'm telling you it's true. And all of these writings I was commissioned to write at that time. It was an ancient writing. You know, I was put in a different time period, and so I had a certain style of writing that I don't have today. And all those writings, most of them were written by me. I don't know, there might be a couple that are written by other people, but for the first time, I read the whole Bible when I was in jail. And when was it? It was 2009 to 2010. I read the entire Bible for the first time. And I'm here in the Bible Belt, of course. And that's when it became very clear to me, and I was able to remember all these writings. And I just want you to know that the truth is a lot clearer than what is in the Bible, even in the New Testament. I did not write the New Testament, but you know, the truth is quite distorted in the Bible. Okay. Hi, Rachel. Just a little crazy. I know, it sounds really nutty. You know, that's not true, Tracy Goodman says. I hope that I'm there when the Lord confronts you about your lies, especially the one where you claim to be Him. Tracy. Yeah, you know, don't you think I'm suffering quite a lot as it is? I mean, I've gone through so much. It's not like I haven't gone through a lot. A lot of people would say that is punishment for what I say. And, you know, I say a lot of things that make a lot of people angry. I'm sure all the Nichiren Buddhists are very upset about me claiming that Nichiren Daishonin is not an actual person, that he is a character that Blythe Daishonin created. You know, I'm sure they're very upset about that too, because he's supposed to be a guy who actually lived. Jesus actually lived. He really is a real person in history. And yes, I went back in time and I portrayed him when I was an 8-year-old girl. I know, it's so crazy. I know. And you've never heard anything like this, so of course you're gonna say that's insane, that's crazy, or that's blasphemy. God, you know, curse her, strike her down, make her dead. I mean, I don't know. I just know that I have to come out with this, and Prince wanted me to come out with it. Okay? He's the one that got me to go live, and he got me to go on my profile rather than my private little group where I share things like this a little more freely. So this was a big deal, me being on here, and I know that people like Tracy Goodman and others are not going to understand, and that's fine. I have to get it out there and let you know there's a new world coming, and you know, it may not be what the Jehovah's Witnesses have exactly in mind, but it's going to be a new world, and it's going to be a lot better than this one. And you will know who I am. You know, I won't be treated like the idiot that I appear to be. I mean, I know. I mean, I've been playing the idiot, the fool, the idiot for years now, for years and years and years. And that's going to be totally different in the new world. In the new world, I'm going to be the leader. I am your leader. It's me. And I really look forward to you knowing the truth so that I don't look like a stupid, idiotic, mentally ill, crazy person, all right? It'll be really nice when everybody knows the truth, and it's not just me, you know, talking like I'm some insane idiot. Okay? I really look forward to that moment. And, okay, so Tracy has more to say. I would never ask the Lord to strike you down, Clara. I'm not that vengeful, laughing out loud. It's not that I don't understand. It's just that you're not telling the truth about being the Lord, among other things. Okay. Well, okay. When Jesus was living on earth, do you think many people I mean, obviously, quite a few people believed him and supported him. He had a lot more support than I ever have. Um, but he people did not understand who he was. A lot of people didn't understand who he was, and they killed him. Um, but we have Jesus in history as an example, and we can understand how somebody can be horribly misunderstood, and you know, the CIA today, they know who I am. The CIA knows who I am, and they want control over me, and they don't want this new world, and they think they can squash it and prevent it from coming. And they've been squashing me for years and years and making me look like an idiot. It's this. Jesus had the same problem in a different way. I mean, so did Nichiren Daishonin, who is a legend actually, and not a real person. They were all oppressed by the authority in their day, and I am too. The CIA has total control over our media, over everything that we're told. Everything that we are informed about. The CIA controls that, and they want you to think I'm a silly idiot, and here I am being a silly idiot for all of you. And this is part of the process of this new world coming out. I have to make a total fool of myself. Okay, this is the only way we can push this forward. I have to be a total idiot. I have to be the fool, because in the new world, I'm going to be the opposite, so let it all, let it all be. Okay, well, I guess that's all that Tracy wants to say. If there's anyone else that would like to say something, please do so now, because I think that I don't really have more to say. I can't believe I said this on my profile. I have a lot of people from high school that a lot of people that I went to high school with, that that I'm Facebook friends with, and they probably think I'm really nutty right about now. They just roll their eyes. I am not the same person they went to high school with. I am not the same girl, and they don't know what the hell happened to me. And, that goes for my family, for so many people. I was a totally different person back then than I am now. And I know they probably think I've totally lost all sanity. But the truth is that I've decided to just be who I really am, instead of pretending to be something that I'm not. That's what I did when I was a young girl. When I was young, I pretended I was something that I wasn't. I was so busy covering up who I truly am. I had quite an ego, and I wanted to portray myself in a certain way, in a certain light, and I'm done doing that. I've been done for years now. This is who I really am. And it's who I was when I was a young girl, too. I just didn't want anyone to see who I really was. It's not that I've changed, it's just that I have let down the facade. I had a facade up in place when I was young, and I don't have that facade in place anymore. This is who I really am. Yes, I should get a lot more respect and honor than I get. I mean, I shouldn't be treated the way that I'm being treated. I mean, I shouldn't. But this is who I really am. Tracy, it doesn't matter what I, or anyone else for that matter, says, Claire. You're going to believe what you want. I know who my Lord is, and it's not you. I don't know what happened in your childhood to make you come up with these stories. It's so long I have to click it to see more. Wait, let me see if I can see it. I don't know if I can read the rest. I can't read the rest. Maybe it was a need for attention, or because you had time accepting that you probably had just a, I don't know, it won't let me read it. It was too long a comment, so I can't read it. Sorry, Tracy. These are not stories I'm making up, okay? I'm sure everybody thought Jesus was making up stories too. I'm telling you the truth, and I know our world, in our world, nobody believes the truth when they see it, and, I look really ridiculous. I know that. I'm very aware of that. It's not like I'm unaware of that. I had a lot of experiences when I was a child, and I'm telling you about them. I had a lot of experiences when I was an adult, and I've been telling you about them, and you can choose to believe them, or you can just wait and see, and you'll see that they're the truth. And until President Trump puts in the code, turns the key, pushes the button, I guess everyone's going to think I'm an idiot. So here you are, Clown Claire. I'm the clown in the media circus. This is my role in the media circus. A clown, an idiotic clown for you all to enjoy, until the biggest clown of them all, Donald Trump, does the unthinkable and starts World War III, turns the key, puts in the code, pushes the button, whatever he does, and we have a new world where everybody knows who Claire really is. And Claire is the opposite of an idiot. I'm looking forward to that world. Until then, I'm an idiot. Okay, you continue. Okay, great. Okay, now I can see the rest of it. Maybe it was the need for attention, or because you had a hard time accepting that you probably had just a normal childhood. Me? A normal childhood? I don't think so. So you needed something to make yourself more important than what you really are. Well, I feel very unimportant, actually. And yeah, I guess you could say because I feel so obscure and so like nothing, I overcompensate to make myself feel the opposite of nothing, right? I guess you could say that, but don't tell me I had a normal childhood. The people I grew up with, no, I did not have a normal childhood. And some of them are my Facebook friends. Being a CIA sex slave, which the kids that I grew up with in high school know that I was. They didn't, I don't know, well, not everybody I went to high school knew, but, and I don't know if they all knew it was CIA. I don't know. I think they did, though. That wasn't normal. Hi, Ishtakar. Con. Hi. Very nice. Good, he says. Thank you very much. Yeah, I had nothing like a normal childhood, and I think that's obvious, but I don't know, maybe I seem kind of normal. I mean, if I went through all that I claim, I should be dead, right? Yeah, I lived, and I can speak pretty normally about it, can't I? So, and I speak pretty normally for a crazy person, don't you think? I mean, a crazy person, I don't know, I don't think they can talk and communicate like I can and be open to other opinions, and I don't know. So just food for thought for all of you, and I wouldn't have ever done this if Prince hadn't made me. My husband Prince, yes, my husband Prince, the Holy Spirit. We created Prince to be the face of the Holy Spirit. Okay, and he chose to promote, promote himself as a Jehovah Witness because there's a new world coming. Okay, and I was a Jehovah Witness at one time before I was a Buddhist, and I was born into Buddhism, but for a while I didn't remember that I was a Buddhist. Okay, so I experimented with other faiths, and even after I was a Buddhist, I experimented with other faiths and other beliefs, and I've always embraced all beliefs and faiths to an extent. So, there's truth in all of them, and but I identify as a Nichiren Buddhist. Let's be clear about that. But that is not going to stop me from making an appearance at this gathering at the Kinsey and Walton Funeral Home on Peach Orchard Road on April 11th, commemorating the death of Jesus. I'm going to show up because, they keep bothering me, and I don't know, I think Prince wants me to go, so I'm going to go and revisit my Jehovah Witness roots. All right. Well, I think I've said enough for now. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. And, every so often I'll show up on my profile and give you a Facebook Live about all of these juicy topics. But if you really want the lowdown, you should join Department of Empowerment, the Facebook group. That's where I go live all the time. Sometimes it's every day. Sometimes it's more than every day. Sometimes it's a couple times a day. And I haven't been on for a few days. And I came on here instead, on my profile instead. But really, if you want, up close and personal with me, all of this information, and, Prince operates through me, you should join my Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/Department of Empowerment. Okay? I'll see you there, I hope. Bye for now.